In this video, I want to briefly go over naming conventions. With programming languages, after a while, a substantial number of developers will adopt a certain way of naming different elements such as variables, functions, and classes, and it becomes somewhat of a de facto standard. This is no different in Python. However, if you work for a company, there's a high probability that your company has an in-house coding convention that dictates how to name different elements in your code. So if you work for a company, make sure you check with their documentation. Naming conventions help make the code more readable, and it allows others to better understand and collaborate on your code. Some common naming conventions in Python are that variables, functions, methods, modules, and packages use snake case with lowercase letters. Constants use snake case with uppercase letters. Private names are prefixed with an underscore and then use snake case with lowercase letters. And it is important to know that Python does not enforce private names or constants. And class names use Pascal case where the first letter of each word is an uppercase. And on the right side here, you'll see that I have some examples. I have snake case that is written in snake case with all lowercase letters and an underscore separating the two words. I have Pascal case written in Pascal case where the first letter of each word is uppercased. And then I have some examples for variables, functions, methods, modules, and packages where I have my underscore string. And for the function, I have add underscore number. For the constant, I have the all uppercase pi and all uppercase tripler. For private names, I prefix the variable with an underscore. And for class names, I have a capital M and capital U as the first letter of each word. For constants and private names, this is not something that Python enforces. A constant would be a variable that you do not want to change the value of throughout the entire program. So you would set it one time and that value never changes. And this gives you something to work with. So like if I wanted to work with circles and I knew I was going to be using pi a lot, I could make the constant pi and always refer back to it to get the value of pi. With private names, again, it's not enforced by Python, and this would be something like a variable that's inside a class that is only changed by methods that are in that class, and nothing outside of that class should be able to change or use that variable. Now, the naming conventions that I just described are not in any way enforced by Python, but if you are wondering how to go about naming different elements, doing so how I described here is a safe bet. Chances are if you read other people's Python code, it will be similar or exactly as I've described it here, so you will be able to understand it a little better if that's how you're used to writing Python code.